It is all going to dust. Part 4. A meditation on Armageddon, double standards, dying hegemonies, and the world we are building from their ashes. Toynbee, then Ibn Khaldun, The Deeper History. Arnold Toynbee, that exhaustive chronicler of 23 civilizations, argued that the death of a civilization is rarely imposed from without. It is self-inflicted. Civilizations die, he wrote, when the creative minority that once solved problems and inspired imitation transforms into a dominant minority that maintains power through coercion rather than inspiration. The masses, internal and external, then withdraw their consent. Toynbee and Arnold and Churchill are now the go-to historians for the modern Nazis of Europe and America. They have identified that the dominant minority of politicians, tech billionaires, and celebrities as corrupt, decadent, and immoral, the swamp, the North London elite, and more recently, the Epstein class, as they have started to call them. Look at the West today. Observe its creative minority, a class of billionaires whose moral authority consists primarily of owning rockets and social media platforms. Observe its institutions, a UN Security Council that blocks ceasefire resolutions by veto, a NATO alliance that wages proxy wars while deploring the concept of proxy wars, a free press that is free to do many things and chooses, with impressive consistency, to do the same one thing. Toynbee is illuminating, but for the granular mechanics of why empires actually collapse, the internal sinews snapping, the moral fiber rotting from within, one must turn to a North African scholar born in Tunis in 1332, whose work has informed and instructed almost every modern scholar of history. Ibn Khaldun. In his Muqaddimah, arguably the first work of social science, written 6 centuries before Weber, Marx, or Durkheim arrived at similar conclusions with considerably more fanfare, Ibn Khaldun described the rise and fall of power through the concept of asabiya, social cohesion, group solidarity, the collective will that binds a people into a functional civilization. When asabiya is strong, empires rise. When luxury, moral corruption, and internal inequality hollow it out, empires fall, often in 3 to 4 generations. He noted that ruling elites inevitably abandon the virtues that gave them power. They become sedentary, indulgent, and obsessed with the performance of strength rather than its substance. They pursue the theater of dominance, the speech at the podium, the carrier group in the straight, the press conference about values, while the actual foundations of their authority corrode. Look around. The United States spends more on its military than the next 9 countries combined. It cannot fix its own water pipes. It has held the world's reserve currency for 80 years and cannot fund public health care. It lectures the global South on democracy, while its own Supreme Court is selected by private billionaires at luxury retreats. Its asabiya, its social cohesion, is at its lowest recorded point. Its bridges, quite literally, are falling down. Ibn Khaldun would not be surprised. He would, however, note that we are precisely at the inflection point his model predicts, the moment when the empire, sensing its decline, becomes most dangerous, not most powerful, most dangerous. Our modern-day Nazis are barking up the wrong tree, i.e. immigration and Islam. Social cohesion does require a shared purpose, and religion may play a small part in it, but more importantly, social fabric of the West is torn apart by individual pursuits of pleasure and escapism, and abdication of social and moral responsibility to leaders and influencers and celebrities who are not fit for the job. The West needs a reboot in morality and justice, and Islam just might be the solution.